Are you safe in Disney parks, folks? As a measles outbreak has been reported, well, not an outbreak, a measles exposure has been reported at Disneyland in California. Health officials have issued a warning about it. We're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Yeah, guys, measles making a comeback. People thought it was down and out, but measles was like, nah, man, like I'm just getting started. So we saw recently a confirmed case of measles was linked to a recent visit to Disneyland, prompting Orange County health officials to issue a public warning and urge guests to check their vaccination statuses. According to a press release issued January 31st, the OC Healthcare Agency confirmed that an international traveler who arrived in Los Angeles airport later visited multiple locations at the Disneyland Resort while infectious. The case was reported to Orange County by both the Department of Public Health and the Los Angeles Department of Public Health. I'm sorry, the California Department of Public Health and the Los Angeles Department of Public Health. It's a lot of departments of public health there. Health officials say individuals who were present at Disneyland during the specific time windows may be at risk of exposure. Now, the OC Healthcare Agency identified the following locations and times associated with the measles: Goofy's Kitchen at the Disneyland Hotel at 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and Disneyland Park and California Adventure from 12:30 p.m. to park closing. Now, Vash, that is a large amount of space over a large amount of time where people could have been exposure. And this was on Wednesday, January the 28th. This is like, but a measles exposure in one of these parks, that's kind of a big deal, isn't it?
It's a very big deal because you're talking about parks that are they can very well hold like 60,000 guests, I think, at Disneyland, maybe topping out at 40,000 at Disney California Adventure right across the way there at Disneyland Resort. That's 100,000 people right there, not even including downtown Disney, which, by the way, changed its logo for like a third time in the last 20 years. Very weird. But no, I mean, this is kind of a serious deal right here. And we have had previous measles exposures before at this specific theme park. And for similar circumstances, somebody comes in international and the CDC tracks them down. It's like, uh-oh, they went to Disneyland. That's no good.
Oh, did Vash just freeze?
Uh-oh. The Elsa winter storm got to Vash.
It was the measles. The measles shut him down.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
There you are.
No.
You're back now.
Well, there you go. It's very interesting when looking at the history of this kind of stuff because, well, in this area of California, there have been some who have said, let's forego the injections, which, it's obviously people have a obviously right to do, and it's not me to sway either way. That's not really the purpose of the story. But given that the vaccination rates in this area are maybe below the national average in some cases right there, well, that obviously increases the likelihood of contagion and so forth. So it's definitely a serious deal. Measles is spread very, very, very easily. And I just hope everybody is okay. And
measles, from what I understand, Vash, actually stays in an area after the infected has already left.
Yes, yeah, it can stay there for a bit, especially in elevators are one of the worst places, right, for something like that, as you can probably imagine. And well, if you're in a queue for a period of time, that could be a bad thing as well. And there are certainly small enclosed spaces within various areas of the Disneyland Resort. I can think of like Indiana Jones's queue, for example, Roger Rabbit's queue, even Rise of Resistance, and so forth. Or maybe you're in the Star Speeder 3000, enjoying your time on Star Tours. That could be kind of an issue too, where things can linger and so forth. So, the hope is that you have a vaccination rate above a certain threshold in which this disease is not allowed to spread through contact with others. But unfortunately, in the Southern California area, that might not be the case, depending on the time of day and who's actually visiting and so forth. So it's certainly a big concern, and this is not the first time, like I was saying before, that a measles outbreak has been traced back to the Disneyland Resort. And they've also had Legionnaire's disease as part of this theme park right there. I believe the park was actually sued over that right there. So it's just one of the things when you're visiting a theme park, you have to take into consideration. You are going to be with many other people. Some of those, maybe carrying something that you don't want them to carry.
Hence, this is why Disney should allow the immune compromised folks that are applying for DAS that cannot wait in long queues or be in crowded spaces to have a boarding area so that they can just, get on the ride vehicle and go about their day. Because the longer they stay in these enclosed areas, the more of an exposure, a threat to their condition. And this is very disturbing for me to hear these kind of stories. I apologize, whoever was going to.
No, I think you're bringing a great point, MJ.
You do, and it's so one thing to point out is that the person that was that spread the measles in Disneyland was apparently an international traveler, so it wasn't an American. So that's one thing.
Right.
But a lot of people always push back on me when they say here they're like, I don't like the monorail, or I don't like the really crowded times of being so close to people. I don't like, that Comic-Con, shoulder to shoulder experience. And they're like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I'm just like, no, dude, you don't understand. This is a petri dish you're walking around in. COVID Disney was wonderful. I know it was terrible at the same time, but nobody near me. I could swing my arms with, people. I was allowed to tell people to get away from me. It was, that was my paradise. But
yeah, I mean, the reduction in guests as mandated by COVID protocols, there was something to be said about that. I didn't personally enjoy the diminishment of certain experiences like Rise of the Resistance with that horrible plexiglass, or even having to wear masks all the time.
I'm just making a joke, but yeah.
Oh, sure. And look, I mean, like you said, Marvin, these places kind of are petri dishes, right? When you're, putting yourself into ride vehicles after constant amounts of rotation, obviously, there are some germs there. I'm excluding the measles because that's relatively rare, but still, I mean, you just never know. And I would argue, to kind of MJ's point right there, if you are sensitive to airborne viruses and so forth, maybe the parks, I don't know, you have to take additional precautions versus somebody who might have a good immune system. But even if you do, I would recommend that your immune system be in top tier health right there, because you might interact with anywhere between 60 to 80 to 100,000 people, just depending on what you do and how long you stay.
Yeah, very interesting. Erica, I mean, how do you feel about, the spread of germs and stuff like that in these places? Is there anything you think that people could do to limit their exposure? Are you concerned about something like that? Are you a germaphobe like me?
No, not really. I mean, hand sanitizer, wash your hands frequently. Be careful what you touch, or the what end of what you're touching, for like a fork or a spoon, for example. Just be vigilant. And measles, it's one of those childhood things. Most people are vaccinated for that when they're infants, or at the very least come by the time you're a toddler. So that just tells me it was somebody who wasn't vaccinated. And I guess there's no requirements in coming into the United States. They don't have to be vaccinated for that. So they were granted entry. And I mean, that's anywhere you go, anywhere you travel to internationally.
There's always a risk of contamination in any populated area.
It just is, yeah.
You just have to be vigilant and aware, and be cognitive of what you have been vaccinated for and not, and know your own risks,
And I would say this too: the risks are, especially with a communicable disease like the measles, it's relatively low. I mean, a lot of people have been reporting that, that in at least Western societies and so forth, it's just the occurrence of that is just low in general. So I'm not saying that you don't have to worry about anything. I'm just saying though is that the chances of this are low, which is good. And I think anybody visiting a Disneyland Resort, I don't think they should have to worry about any after effects and so forth. But it when you go to the parks, for example, right, and you're in those ride vehicles and you're holding on those handrails and everything like that, before you eat, wash your hands. That's like that
Rule
is
of
probably
thumb.
the best advice I can.
Yeah, that's a rule of thumb. Yeah.
My
touching certain
wife,
surfaces and so forth.
yeah, my wife is the queen of hand sanitizer. Like if she sees me like put my hand on like a railing as we're going down the stairs, she's just like hand sanitizer.
That's like me with my kids. I have hand sanitizers and I'm probably a psychopath, but because of our circumstances, you just have to make provisions. Bring hand sanitizer, and they do sell them even at the Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Get the Clorox disinfecting wipes, and just be conscious of your surroundings, because obviously, if you are traveling with someone with an immune compromised system, and there are outbreaks in all of these theme parks all over the world, anywhere where there's a crowd, an arena, you need to be precautious. But specifically talking about the Disney parks, Universal parks, you can actually request a table away from most people. You can request things. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you can take like, hey, can we have our own ride vehicle? We are sensitive. We haven't said, talk to the cast members. Some will be very accommodating. Sometimes it might not happen, but most of the time they are accommodating, and they will listen to you, and they will try to help you as much as possible. Like, hey, look, we have a senior with an immune compromise, or a child with an immune compromise, or me, or whatever, whoever. Just, do as much research as you can. And there are places and things that you can sit at and do ride experiences and the shows. You don't have to sit next, let the cast member know we need to sit away from everyone. We have someone in our party with a very compromised immune system. You never know. They might be able to put you somewhere else. You just have to talk, communicate, bring the hand sanitizer, bring the Clorox disinfecting wipes, and just do your part. That's it.
Remember, guys, other people are filthy and full of diseases. Remember that on your next vacation.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.